Welcome back to the Morning Show here on the Rise News. I am Adesua Omoran.
And I'm Rafai Hussein.
Well, the first quarter of 2019 saw the issuance of a 13-month ultimatum from the National Insurance Commission, NAICOM, to all Nigerian insurance companies to recapitalize or lose their licenses.
The directive was contained in a circular issued by NAICOM to chief executive officers and managing directors of insurance companies in Nigeria, mandating them to comply on or before June 30th, 2020.
Now, based on the NAICOM directive, recapitalization of Nigeria's insurance sector is now a race against time by the insurance companies.
At the moment, a handful of insurance operators are currently considering mergers and acquisition M&As, and in their quest to meet regulators' new recapitalization requirement. This is because available 2018 financials of about 12 insurance companies, only Wapik Insurance Plc meet the new capital requirement.
Well, according to reports, many underperforming firms may close shop, while others would rather merge or seek foreign direct investment.
Already, some operators, including Standard Alliance Insurance, have attracted foreign firms and are now collaborating and initiating new products to beat the required financial capital base as standard operating procedure.
Well, joining us now to discuss the recapitalization of Nigeria's insurance sector is Ebose Augustine Osegha, the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the burgeoning Anchor Insurance Company. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you.
Great to welcome you, Dr. Ebose.
Thank you very much.
Let's talk about your company, Anchor Insurance. How ready are you for this shake-up about to happen in the system?
Yeah, we are ready as a very proactive insurance company. What we did before, even the NAICOM came out with their regulation thinking, we had gone ahead to, but the board has gone ahead to take a resolution that we need to recapitalize. We need to NAICOM before the deadline. As it is, as I speak to you, we have done our right issue, which by the grace of God was very successful. And then we're coming up with the right placement, which comes to the end by 30th of next month.
So that means your own method of avoiding this hammer is going to the capital market.
Yeah, we were very proactive. We're very proactive, not going to the capital market, but by private placement.
Okay, private placement.
Yes.
Well, how would you describe the level of insurance penetration in Nigeria, especially because they remain very low, and at the major cities alone, we don't even talk about the rural areas. Not everybody's insured. What is responsible for this, and who should we blame?
Everybody has the blame. The industry themselves, we share from the blame. Majorly, the government will also have, and the regulator themselves will also look at what they have not done right. Our culture is not, the insurance culture is not different from Nigerian culture. Whatever you are, that is what also belong. American culture is American insurance culture. So what the Nigerian culture is that when some of the things we see insurance as alien. A lot of things are not being done, not backed up by legislation, by government. It's a very serious matter. And again, if you look at the insurance industry, as a Nigerian state, we lack data. So if there are no data, there is nothing much anybody can do. And if you look at the ICT process we are trying to come up with, the government regulation that aspect as it regards insurance and other facets of life is nothing to, well, I wouldn't say nothing to write home about. Taking the side from Adesu, we are talking about the penetration. You will find out if you say the insurance industry has not grown, I wouldn't say that is very correct. But if you have 0.01% and you now have a growth of another 0% added, that's an addition. Are we going up? Yes. Have we done enough to grow up more than what we think? We say no. But is it new awareness being created? I will tell you yes. Awareness is ongoing. Even some of us that even barely before I left the university, I never heard anything about insurance. I don't even know what life policy is all about. But today I'm a CEO in an insurance company. Are you saying that there's no awareness? In my community, in my village, nobody heard anything about insurance, but I'm the CEO of an insurance company today. In my community, know that I work for Anchor Insurance. So the message needs to be pushed more. We need to talk more about rebranding. And the new NIA head, Tokwe Smart, the MD of NM Insurance, is also trying very much as a new head of this association to see some of this be done. Then what we have done, they've strengthened the awareness campaign committee of the NIA, which of course, I know you can, now you do see some of our programs on TV, adverts on Twitter and some of that thing going on social media. But that awareness was not been there before. So I wouldn't say the insurance industry has not grown in terms of creating awareness. And all
You
that.
talk about awareness. I wonder if it's the same thing as enlightenment, because it's not uncommon to hear the phrase, the blood of Jesus covers me, in this part of the world, or God forbid. So is it a factor of enlightenment rather than awareness? I mean, you can say the awareness is there, but do they understand the benefits of insurance? When you look at countries around us, such as South Africa, the per capita of insurance is higher than ours, which is barely $6.
Like I said to you, you cannot separate the Nigerian culture from Nigerian state itself, or even the industry that operates in Nigeria. We are not foreigners in this country, we are all Nigerians. The culture of Nigeria always believe that. Even those who say, oh, God, it's God that will take care of me. You have not worked hard, you have not done anything. How will God come? Even God in itself does not bless what is not in your hands. So let's look at it critically. Those who are supposed to take insurance, how many enlightened people who are professors in this country have insurance policy? That's the question we need to ask. The insurance people will not come to your house by force or by rules. That's why the government needs to come in and say, look, if, for example, like the property insurance they're trying to introduce, the housing and all that, if it's been enforced and say, look, if you do not have a particular set of makeup in your insurance, you should not have facilities in the bank. Let's take BVN, for example. Even when the BVN was something that we all needed for security of our banking system, a lot of people didn't do it. When the government came and said, look, there's a deadline. If you do not have the BVN, you cannot operate your account. There was a lane in everybody's account. That was what forced people to do it. Why can't we do the same in insurance? That's where the issue of legislation comes in. Enlightenment, yes. Awareness, yes. But if we do not push these things by legislation, nobody is going to obey it. Like you talk about other parts of the world like America.
Yeah.
South Africa,
for
right?
example.
Yeah.
I want to take car park, for example, in London, for example. Are you telling me people in London break rules? They break rules, but the rules will not allow you to break them because there are issues, there are obstacles to you breaking those rules. If you drive in and you don't pay your car park, you're not going to drive out of the place. Will you leave your car there and go home? No. So what do? You go back and pay so that you can go out of the place.
Let's talk about the role of insurance in hedging against unemployment. I remember it was in the papers that a couple of years back now, you launched something called a workers' unemployment scheme in case when you lose your job. Because that's another one, because the rate of job loss in society is so much these days. People are losing their job by the day, and it's a reflection of what is happening in the economy. And you brought about a product. And I want to talk about that in general. How can we use insurance to hedge against unemployment?
Well, first and foremost is like, I don't want to continue to blame government for everything I say, but you cannot run away from the idea of blaming the government. If you look at life policies, if there's no employment in the society, insurance is the life subsector of the financial sector of the economy. If there's no employment, you will not have increased group life policy. So for that reason, it's until there is something that is have insurable interest, insurance cannot come in. It's just like building law. The law will say you can't build something or nothing. If there are no insurable interests, insurance cannot come to play.
You know, this is coming 14 years since the last one was done. What should we expect from this recapitalization in the sector? What is likely to happen?
But what will likely happen, right, from my own assessment, is that there will be merger. A lot of insurance companies looking at the economy itself is not being very buoyant. And if you look, before an investor will come to invest in an insurance company, he has to look at the returns. So if I have to put 18 billion down to write a premium of 10 billion, you know what that means? Well, it's on the long term. But if you ask me, do we need a capitalization as an industry? I will tell you capital, yes.
Why?
Because a
lot of people don't want it. The body language is, we don't have the money. Why don't you just leave the sector like this?
A lot of people don't want it because they don't have the resources to do so. Then if you don't have the resources to do so, are you going to run the system and allow the insurance industry to extinguish from the system? The answer is no. But the same people, as we are saying, some people don't like it, but some people also want it. But I think the government and the regulators need to come to the round table to see how this is done.
Is the government not the regulator?
The governments are the regulator, but we should also give us opportunity to air our view in terms of how this things can be done. a lot of people, let me tell you what I'm saying. For me, as insurance, as Anchor Insurance, we are moving on the edge. But generally, I have to speak on behalf of my other colleagues. If a lot of people have issue with the timing, some shareholder will tell you, some investors will tell you, oh, the timing is wrong, the economy is not settled. We just left reception, and a lot of things have been going on in society. So why the recapitalization at this time? Then what's the return on investment? The economy is middling. The minister has just been appointed after 6 months or thereabout. Now,
after less than 6 months.
Less than 6 months. Almost 2 months, yes.
Almost 2 months. Now, things have not been done. They've not been sworn. The inauguration has not taken place. So they will need another 1 month to settle down to understand what is going on in their ministry before talking about insurance and other things that need to come, except for those that are very things that we not see insurance as something very important. But these are some of the things we need to look at, because we are not come and say, oh, we are recapitalizing. And the resources to recapitalize is somewhere. Because even if you are going to get money from the bank, at what rate will you borrow?
Well, you're talking about the timing, and the question would be, would the timing ever be right? I mean, this is 14 years after. But let me also talk about the figures. Some say, this is just simply unrealistic. Perhaps when chickens grow teeth. Life insurance business from 2 billion to 8 billion naira. General insurance business from 3 billion naira to 10 billion naira. Composite business from 5 billion naira to 18 billion naira. And reinsurance business from 10 billion naira to 20 billion naira. Are these figures realistic? We have identified that there is a low penetration of insurance policies in the country. These figures, were they realistic?
Well, I wouldn't say they are realistic. I wouldn't say they are not realistic. But let me tell you why I said that. Some insurance companies already have capital base of maybe 5 billion.
How many are in the billions? Because we see figures in the millions.
6 billion, 4 billion. So if you have 4 billion already, what are you looking for to mark up for your 8 billion? It's 4 billion. Or if you want to ask me, like you said before, has anything in life ever come easy? No. If you want the best, you should also make sure that you have the knack to also have the best of pains, to have the best of gains. It's the rule of life. So I'm very sure a lot of people are working very hard to make sure they meet the recapitalization. If the regulators say this is what we want, then what can we do?
But a lot of people have said, it's not today we've been talking about this. At first, the wave came up at some point, and at some point they stopped it again. They sort of like suspended the idea, and now it's coming up again. Some people are saying, if another person comes into the helms of affairs regards the regulation, they might just say, oh, this is not the way to go any longer.
But the first, what happened first, well, this is a different, what is going on is about the bid of capital, the one we had before with about solvency margin. All right, where the company has tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. That category. But what is now is a bid of capital. At that tier, everybody will have a window to play at different stage of the economy, of the insurance industry. But at this stage, it's either you are doing the life 10 billion, or doing the, 8 billion for the life. Then the non-life 10 billion, and the both 18 billion. So if you want to play, if you have like, for example, other companies that have both life and non-life before, if you want that, the markup might not be that too high. All right? But I will ask you, do we need a recapitalization? I say yes. Is this the form that we needed? That's what I don't know. Looking at somebody who is going to come here, or somebody who is there now, or whoever that is going to be there. But I don't think that is appropriate for me to say that, because I don't even know what is happening at the political angle of who is coming in and who is going out. I know the tenure of the current person will come to an end. He could be reappointed, or somebody else will come in and all that. So our industry will look at that before we take before we can make any assumption on that.
Well, you've talked about the role of government. You've talked about your sector. You've talked about the people. But we'll also talk about the insurance companies themselves and what they're doing wrongly or rightly after this break. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Morning Show here on the Rise News. We still have with us Ebose Augustine Osegha, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Anchor Insurance Company, talking about the recapitalization of insurance companies in Nigeria. Yes, we talked about the role of the government and what needs to be done. We've talked about the Nigerian people and their awareness, level of awareness. But let's talk about the insurance companies. There's the issue of claims and insurance companies not meeting up with the expectations. If I decide that this is a pool of risk, it's something I should do, And in fact, legally, there are a couple of insurance policies Nigerians must take.
Yeah.
There are about 5 of them by law. So if I take out these policies and it's time to collect my claims, and the insurance companies come with one story or the other, how do you encourage the next person? So there's that issue of claim, but what do you have to say about that?
Well, the issue of claim is as old as insurance itself. One thing I will say here is it's relative that the insurance company doesn't pay claim. That cannot be too correct. I do know insurance companies sometimes repudiate claims. You can repudiate a claim when you find that the claims are not valid. There's a difference between paying a claim and paying a valid claim.
What's a valid claim and
a
what's
valid
a claim?
claim is a claim that you have, the investigation has shown that is a real claim. Real claim in the sense that there are the factors that led to that insurance, the claim itself is as a factor of that same insurance. Then if you look at, I want to give you a scenario, this one. If you have a motor policy, for example,
Yes.
then you need to pay your premium, submit the color of your car, registration, and some other things. Then when you have claim, or there are accidents, or there is accident, all you need to do is to inform the insurance company to say, look, we call notification of claim. We quickly send in someone to go and do post-loss survey to show what there is. Even before then, there is pre-loss survey, which of the pre-loss survey comes before. That while you are taking the policy, we need to know the color of your vehicle, other information that we need concerning the vehicle, even by yourself and the driver of the vehicle, your license and all that. After that, there is a claim, you notify us. Then we send somebody to go and check. We require that you give us some information.
What are those information?
Those informations are normally where they are spelled out in the policies or policy document of that. If, for example, if it's a vehicle, the color of the vehicle, that is the pre-loss survey will also show that some of the documents that we're asking for is the same thing that you had before. You are asked to submit your to the garage, maybe there is a garage assigned for such purpose and all that. But you find out that some Nigerians will have a black car at the point of pre-loss survey. But when the insurance proper comes for, there's a claim notification.
The color of the car
the color is green. So will you not say insurance company?
So once you respray your car, should you notify the insurance
Absolutely.
company? Okay.
Absolutely.
Some people think
we had a case somewhere in Ibadan where somebody's car got burnt. The car insured was Mazda. The car burnt was a Mercedes-Benz. The next thing the person took us to, wrote us through his lawyer. Then we called the lawyer and we tell him, look at the documents before us. This is the picture of the person that owns this car. So a Mazda car before us. The claim is another car entirely.
Some people think that the insurance companies deliberately make the process cumbersome, so they don't pay the claims.
Not cumbersome, but if you don't have information to give to insurance company, and there are issues, we do that. If insurance doesn't pay claim, if, for example, let me give you an example, we have a lot of policy we do in Mobi, Ajip, or that big comes with blue chips. How many issues have come that the insurance company doesn't pay such claims?
But that's, you see,
but
like you said,
yes,
there's a culture. It's a pervading mindset. The reason why a lot of people will not do insurance in this country is that insurance companies don't pay claim. And if this was a call-in show, we open up the phone lines. And this is why I'm sure we're going to get nothing less than 50 calls saying, I had this case, and they don't pay claims.
Yeah, but a lot of people will always have that expression to say, oh, insurance company doesn't pay claim. And you ask them, how many claims do they have that have not been paid? Like you say, it's a perception. If you have that perception, insurance company is that, oh, if you pay claim to insurance company is not for gain. It's for indemnity purposes, to put you back to the state of mind that you were before. It's not for gain purposes. The insurance law is against you making gains from insurance claims.
So Anchor is not part of those that tell stories?
No, we don't tell stories.
Let's talk about insurance policies. I know in some parts of the world, insurance is so big that some people go ahead to commit crime just to claim insurance. They go as far as even taking the lives of their spouses. We have seen repeatedly. And that's assurance or life insurance? Life
insurance policies.
What is the position of that in the Nigerian market? And what would you say is the most invested insurance policy from your point of view?
Well, the most, I don't have that statistics now. I don't do life. My company we don't involve in life at the moment. But I know that the insurance policy as regards life the Nigerian economy the Nigerian industry has been doing very well in terms of claim. Really, I must confess to you.
Okay.
And you also understand the NAICOM also have their own regulations to look at insurance companies that are not paying claims. And that I will give to NAICOM. They do that very, very well. Whether there is complaint from public bureau or any other person coming to them to ask for insurance claims and all that. I think the life policy in Nigeria, in terms of claims or whatever, is very huge. Sometimes last year, we lost an executive director who was working with us. The family had to fall back on some of the things, his life policy that was insured. And that has given family succor.
So
if you look at that, I would think kudos to insurance industry, Nigerian insurance industry. We are doing very well. And the media also need to help us look at gender perception that insurance does not pay claim. It's not correct.
Okay.
Yes. Let's talk about hedging insurance with unemployment. I mean, because that's a very important factor. People are losing their jobs. And there's something innovative you did in that regard. Can you just walk us through it? You know?
Yeah, loss of employment was brought in by Anchor Insurance.
Are you the first to do it in this country?
We're the first to do it in this country.
How does that work?
Yeah, because we have, as I speak to you, we have about 166 million monthly we have to pay out to those who lost their job. Because it gives you succor. You earn your salary as if you are still working, losing your job. But let me also say something to you. A lot of Nigerians have not come out to even appreciate this. If I ask Adesowa, do you have insurance policy on loss of employment? No. Adesowa, have you heard of it before? Yes. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Adesowa will not respond.
These are some of the things. We are talking about enlightenment. And people just see insurance as something that is under. Yeah? But even those of them who are in the policy, there's what we call default. A lot of them do not even pay off as at when due. But when you do not pay off, and after some time you now lose your job, you come back.
So how does this even work? You know, because you're saying you're still being paid your salary.
Even when you lose your job.
Break it down, because a lot of people say insurance people, they just pack everything in policy and lie to you.
Yeah, you enroll on the policy, insure some part of your salary or your full salary, depending on what you think you can take every month. Then while you do that, you pay every month. Maybe you give a standard order to the bank, or you decide to pay by check to us on a monthly basis. All right? So after some time, after 12 months, that is what we call the window period, then you are qualified to have claim when you lose your job. After 12 months.
So after the 12 months, if you lose your job, for the first 6 months you lose your job?
The first 6 months you lose your job, we pay you the same salary that you earn, 100% of your salary for 6 months. But we graduate that until 24 months, we'll say no. Because we expect you to have a job after 24 months. It's not an endless...
So after the 6 months, you pay the full salary, you start to pay...
75%.
Yeah. 40%,
25%, as the case may be.
So for,
until window closes.
So for 2 years?
24, yeah, 2012, for 2 years, yeah. It's a very laudable program, that is a scheme that this country youth needs to take. But we've seen people losing their job and they have nothing to fall back on. And it's dangerous for them and dangerous for the family. Our innocent children suffer. But Anchor is there to help people out of this Gwamia. And I think it's something we need to take.
Well, I just need a clarification about this whole recapitalization, because last year, the regulators attempted to do something about a tier sort of arrangement for insurance company. Is that any different from this recapitalization?
Yeah, the difference between what is going on now is that the last one was that industry will have category.
Okay. Category
1, 2, depending on your level of shareholders fund or solvency margin, sorry to say. But this time around, it's paid up capital. All right? What that means is that you must have 10 billion as paid up deposit with CBN for the first 1 month. You know? The difference is that you can still do this policy will allow you to do whatever policies, whether it be oil and gas or whatever. But the other tier Bs were segregated by policy level. If you're in category A, you do oil and gas, you do marine, do every other businesses. But this one doesn't have that differential.
Do you see, finally as we go, do you see this as repositioning the sector?
Well, of course, anything that has to do with calculation will definitely reposition the sector.
For good?
For good. I don't have that argument. the only argument people will say, even those who are saying, oh, we don't want it at the moment. I'm not saying it's a bad policy. It's not.
But why do they don't want it at the moment?
They don't want it at the moment because they feel that maybe the timetable should be a bit longer. Some also feel that whatever. But in our own case, we've already had that. Like I said to you, ANCO has already gone to NAICOM.
You saw into the future?
Into the future, yeah, into the future. Because if you want to live big, you must try to also do some certain things that will generate your bigness, whatever. The antecedent of being a superstar is not something, it's a hard work. And doing that, you must have that ingredients that will prepare you to do same. I think that's what we are doing. And I also want to use this opportunity to enlighten Nigerians that ANCO is the best company to be when it comes to insurance. Because one, we have dynamic young force. We have the best of brains in terms of what we're doing now. Catching them young principle has been working with us. So if you come to our company, like when I walked into Arise, I was very elated to see very young workforce. And that's the same thing you feel with ANCO. We've not made a name. We're trying to make a name, and we want to get big. And by doing that, first and foremost, we must do things right.
We need to go now. They're being prompted. Thank you so much, Dr. Ebose. All right, that's about it.